The game we are looking at here is played in the US Women Championship between Sabina, I hope I pronounced it properly, Foisor, and Dorsa Derakhshani. As you can see, some regular opening moves, nothing special. By the way, Dorsa, having the black pieces, got US citizenship, I believe, around 3 years ago, after she refused to cover her face as required by the Iraq Chess Federation. So good for you, I would say. So here would be the first, I would say, interesting move. You have f5, supporting the knight, and well, if anything, it's for sure an advanced pawn center. So let's see how this is handled. White takes with the c pawn, and after the recapture, we have the first castle. Black castles, and well, bishop c4, knight d2 f6, and after knight takes, of course, we need to take with the pawn, and knight d2, bishop takes c4, knight takes c4, and we will have a battle for the open c file. Rook occupies the c file, and the white rook does the same thing. After b5, white retreats to d2. We get queen to a5, a3, and a6. After h3, it's actually the first time that I want to take some time now. Personally, I never, well, I almost never, there's no such a thing as never, but I almost never like an unprovoked h3 when we have castled kingside, and even if we haven't castled kingside, unprovoked h3 is not often that good, and I like to find moves that are better whenever that is played. And in this case, there clearly is. Actually, it's a tactic, so if you would like, you can pause your video and see if you can find it. White to move and win material. So 5, 4, 3, 2. And the move that will give us a material edge is rook takes c8. After the recapture, this is logical, we now have the beautiful move knight takes e4. Now black can, of course, can capture the knight, but the point is that after the capturing, we have queen to g4. And now we attack the both. We attack the knight directly, and we attack the e6 pawn, which then in its turn again forks the king and undefended rook. The only two fields where the black knight could move to prevent this from happening are c5 and g5, and both of those are under control of white. So white will get back the knight and will be in lead in material. So that would be very nice hit. Didn't happen. h3 was played, and now we get rook to c7. After rook c7, knight b3 hitting the queen, queen to b6, rook takes, queen takes, rook c1, and here we get queen f7, and I think white is afraid for the move e5, and therefore moves the knight to a5, and I really don't like it. It's counterintuitive. And what's the future of the knight? You know, it's on the edge, and not only is it on the edge, there's absolutely nothing in the quadrant that the knight potentially will go to. I mean, where to place it? B7, C6 won't do much there. The other options are C4, which is not an option, and B3, which is directly back. So I'm not a fan of that. I understand that knight to D2 is not the best square for the knight either, but I like it when you push your own agenda, and since white has the c file under control right now, it might be a good idea to utilize that. A good move here is rook to c6, clearly pushing its own agenda, and if now black plays e5, we can move our queen to d1. I prefer it on c2, mostly because, again, we support the rook and are on the open c file. But aside of moving the queen as a defensive move, we can also just take. And after d takes, we attack the knight on f6, so we are very okay here in the situation. That did not happen. The move played was knight a5, not a well-placed knight at all. And now we get g5. It's very clear what the intent is of g5. Black wants to play g4, either now or soon. What shall we do against it? I mean, we can perhaps play g4, but I'm sure that Sabina considered that and then saw, oh, but then we get h5, and that is not pleasant at all. Alternative is g3. And whilst we now get the weak f3 square, which is true, what is also true is that black does not have any bishop, so also not a light squared bishop. And it won't be quick into making any proper use of that weak square yet. We have the c file still, so we have play. And what the white pawns are doing, they just wait till one of the black pawns commits. So if g4, then we can play h4, and if the black pawn comes to h4, we can play g4, locking the pawn structure that way. However, white chose to continue in the theme that I set, actually pushing its own agenda, rook to c6. And it's okay in this position, but dangerous, as you need to consider that whilst you are attacking pawns, it is black that's attacking your king. So you need to be very careful in choosing your moves and knowing and calculating what is on the board. So g4, of course, because that is what we were expecting. Yeah, not pleasant in itself. Well, h takes g4, and now we get queen to g6, which again is a very clear move. It's quite clear why black is playing that. And the question is, what shall we do? We have several moves. I think f3, e takes f, and then g takes f. True, there is some draft around the white king, but it seems to hold. And alternatively, we can also play queen to c2. And the idea is that after black takes, and of course there's a very annoying attack right here, we can play rook to c8, and we remove one of the attackers, which is good for us. After the attacker is removed, we are not that bad, although our knight is still a bit away from action. It's unlikely that black will be able to set up anything. The pawn structure is in our favor, so we stand good chances. So what was played in reality is rook takes d6. And also, I like pushing your own agenda. This is just going too far. This goes into the ignoring of the black threat, ignoring the threat on your own king. And the king, as we know, is a kind of valuable piece in chess. As you can see, the white rook is not a defensive piece and won't be anytime soon. The three black pieces are all coordinated in the attack. And the white knight, well, the white knight is isolated as if it had a very bad case of corona. So that won't join the defense either. Yeah, and then the follow-up, knight takes, of course. So again, ideas are clear. The f2 pawn is attacked. Queen to h5, and will be coming. And honestly, I would say it's already over. There's no proper defense here. The best line that actually the engine gives is f4, leading to en passant takes. This is check, by the way. King f2, knight takes, and after these exchanges, check. We have clearly one game. Those were engine lines, perhaps not so logical. King to f1 is, if you want to continue, a logical continuation. Many ways for black to win here. Chose for a knight to h2 check, best move. King e1, f2, queen takes g2, get f4, en passant, after queen f2. I honestly don't know what white is hoping that black will play here, but black plays knight to g4, which is, should be totally over now, but white plays one more move, and after f takes g2, white did not want to see a black queen on the board again, so it took the king and turned it over, or actually just clicked on resign, as this is being held online. Okay, well, this is a quick review of the rapid games from the first round between Sabina and Dorsa, as mentioned. Let me know in the comments if you've found a line that was interesting, or let me know in the comments if there's a certain event or certain games that you would like me to review. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy my work, please consider subscribing, and I hope to see you in next videos. Bye bye.